The distant distress signal. The crystalline spires of Zora Prime glimmered with an eerie, muted light, a stark contrast to the vibrant civilization that once thrived there. High Consul Lyra stood motionless, her translucent form pulsing with a soft, desperate rhythm that spoke of impending doom. The quantum anomaly had already consumed 7 of their outer colony worlds, and now it approached the heart of their civilization with relentless precision. Quantum analyst Corin approached, his energy form rippling with tension. "Consul," he transmitted, "our defensive systems have failed. The anomaly absorbs everything we throw at it. Our most advanced quantum shields, our energy dispersal technologies, everything simply disappears." Lyra's form shifted through shades of deep indigo, the color of profound concern among her species. They were the Luminara, beings of pure energy and thought, who had mastered the art of existing in perfect harmony with the cosmic fabric. For 10,000 generations, they had lived in peaceful exploration, reshaping reality at the quantum level, growing cities instead of building them, existing in a state of near-perfect technological and spiritual evolution. And now, everything was about to end. "We have one option," Corin continued, his energy signature flickering with what could only be described as reluctance. "A species we've long avoided. Primitive, violent, unpredictable." Lyra's form pulsed with curiosity. "Humans," she acknowledged. "The species from the blue-green planet called Earth. A civilization barely 1,000 years old, still using combustion technology alongside quantum drives. A species that seemed perpetually at war with itself and its environment. They are the closest spacefaring civilization," Corin explained. "Their technological approach is unconventional. Where we harmonize, they disrupt. Where we adapt, they force change. Their very biological density allows them to survive conditions that would obliterate our entire civilization." The quantum displays around them showed the spreading darkness, the anomaly that consumed entire worlds, rewriting the very fabric of reality. It moved with an intelligence that defied comprehension, targeting populated worlds with surgical precision while leaving lifeless planets untouched. "Send a message," Lyra decided, her form solidifying with determination. "Use every communication format they might understand. Transmit on all frequencies, quantum channels, and even their primitive radio waves." Corin began preparing the transmission, carefully crafting a message that would appeal to these strange, violent beings. They would offer something humans might find irresistible, a challenge no one else in the galaxy had been able to defeat. The message was both a plea and a provocation. "Attention Earth, civilization facing total extinction. Anomaly consuming worlds, requires unconventional solution. Compensation, advanced knowledge and resources. Challenge, defeat an enemy that has destroyed multiple advanced civilizations." As the transmission launched across the vast cosmic distances, Lyra wondered if they had just invited destruction or salvation. The humans were unpredictable. They might ignore the call, or they might do something so unexpected that it would change the very nature of the conflict. Little did the Luminara know that their desperate transmission had just caught the attention of humanity's most unorthodox problem solvers. At the Earth Defense Coordination Center, Major Elena Rodriguez studied the incoming alien transmission, her cybernetic implants processing the multilayered communication faster than any standard computer. "Director," she called out, "we've got something interesting." Director Marcus Donovan approached, his weathered face showing a mixture of curiosity and skepticism. "Another first contact scenario." "Not just contact," Elena replied, her eyes glowing with the neural interface's soft blue light. "It sounds like an invitation to prevent a galactic-scale extinction event." The room fell silent. Humanity had always been defined by its ability to face impossible challenges, to adapt when others would surrender. And now, another opportunity had presented itself, a chance to prove that their seemingly chaotic nature might be the key to survival. The cosmic game was about to begin, and humanity was ready to play. Humanity's unconventional response. The Earth Defense Coordination Center buzzed with an energy that was equal parts excitement and calculated preparation. Director Marcus Donovan assembled a team that defied traditional military and scientific protocols. A group of individuals whose collective brilliance lay in their ability to think beyond conventional boundaries. Dr. Internal Ramirez, a quantum systems specialist with a reputation for radical theories, stood at the holographic display. Her mixed heritage and interdisciplinary background had always made her an outsider in traditional scientific circles. Beside her, Lieutenant Kai Nakamura, a former deep-sea exploration engineer, studied the alien transmission with a critical eye. "This isn't a typical first contact scenario," Ramirez muttered, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface. Complex quantum algorithms and linguistic patterns began to take shape, revealing layers of meaning within the alien message. Nakamura nodded, his experience in navigating extreme underwater environments giving him a unique perspective on survival against impossible odds. They're not just asking for help, they're presenting a challenge. The transmission from the Luminara contained more than just a distress call. It was a complex quantum-encoded message that seemed designed to provoke human curiosity. Initial analysis revealed fragments of advanced scientific knowledge, tantalizing glimpses of technologies far beyond current human understanding. "The anomaly consumes entire worlds," Ramirez explained to the assembled team. "But it's not random. There's an intelligence to its destruction. It rewrites quantum realities, eliminating civilizations with a precision that suggests more than mere random expansion." Director Donovan understood the stakes. Humanity had always been a species defined by its ability to survive against seemingly insurmountable challenges. From prehistoric struggles against nature to modern technological achievements, humans had a unique capacity to adapt, innovate, and overcome. "We're putting together an unconventional response team," he announced. "Not just military, not just scientists. We need problem solvers who can think outside every possible box." The team took shape over the next 72 hours. Dr. Ramirez would lead the scientific approach. Lieutenant Nakamura would handle tactical integration. They recruited additional specialists. Dr. Amara Okeke, a Nigerian neurobiologist specializing in extreme adaptation. Jacob Weiss, a former special operations engineer with expertise in systems improvisation. And Elena Rodriguez, whose cybernetic enhancements made her ideal for complex communication and data processing. Their first task was to analyze the quantum signatures of the anomaly. Traditional scientific approaches would fail. They needed something different. "Look at how it consumes worlds," Ramirez demonstrated, holographic projections showing the anomaly's expansion. "It's not just destroying, it's rewriting reality itself." Weiss, who had developed adaptive technologies for extreme environments, saw something others missed. "It adapts," he said quietly, "like a learning system. But what's its baseline? What's it learning from?" The team worked around the clock, developing hybrid technologies that combined human ingenuity with the fragmentary alien scientific data. They created quantum-resistant communication arrays, developed adaptive shielding technologies, and designed systems that could potentially disrupt the anomaly's expansion. "We're not just preparing a defense," Director Donovan told the team during a critical briefing. "We're preparing to go on the offensive." Humanity has always been at its best when facing the impossible. Their preparations were more than a military response. It was a statement of human potential, a declaration that when faced with an existential threat, humanity would not simply survive, but would transform the very nature of the challenge. As the final preparations were completed, a sense of anticipation filled the Earth Defense Coordination Center. They were about to attempt something no civilization had managed before, to not just resist the anomaly, but to understand and potentially defeat it. The Luminara's desperate transmission had found the perfect recipients. Humanity was ready to show the universe what they were capable of. Lieutenant Nakamura looked at the team, a slight smile crossing his face. "Well," he said, "this should be interesting." No one disagreed. The quantum frontier. The experimental vessel Horizon hung at the edge of known space, its hybrid systems a testament to human engineering and alien cooperation. Dr. Internal Ramirez stood on the bridge, her neural interfaces crackling with energy as she processed the complex data streams flowing around her. Approaching quantum anomaly boundary, Lieutenant Nakamura announced, his hands dancing across holographic controls. The ship's exterior was a marvel of adaptive technology. Layers of shielding that could reconfigure themselves, sensors that could perceive beyond traditional electromagnetic spectrums. Dr. Amara Okik monitored the biological adaptation systems. Unlike the energy-based Luminara, humans relied on a robust, adaptable biological framework. Their bodies were laboratories of survival, capable of adjusting to environments that would destroy most known life forms. The anomaly appeared first as a darkness that defied description. It wasn't simply black. It was an absence of everything familiar. Conventional sensors failed. The ship's eye struggled to process what it was seeing. Quantum signature is changing, Ramirez muttered. Her neural implants worked overtime, translating impossible data into comprehensible patterns. It's not just expanding, it's learning. Jacob Weiss, seated at the tactical station, noticed something stranger. Look at how it responds to our approach. It's not random. It's calculating. The anomaly began to shift. Where before it had simply consumed worlds, now it seemed to be forming structures. Crystalline shapes emerged from the darkness, impossible geometries that twisted the very concept of space and time. It's mimicking, O'Keefe realized, not just consuming, learning, adapting. Their mission was unprecedented. They weren't just trying to stop the anomaly. They were trying to understand it. Every moment brought new revelations. The anomaly responded to their presence, changing its quantum signature, attempting to comprehend the human consciousness that approached it. Ramirez developed a groundbreaking theory. Consciousness, she explained to the team, might be the key. Not just human consciousness, but the very nature of how we perceive reality. The Horizon's experimental systems began to generate quantum fields that carried the unique signature of human thought. It was a radical approach, using consciousness as a form of technological resistance. We're basically thinking at it, Nakamura said, a hint of dark humor in his voice. The anomaly reacted. Where it touched the ship's quantum fields, reality seemed to stabilize. Impossible colors danced at the edges of perception. The darkness pulled back, then pushed forward, like a living entity trying to understand an incomprehensible opponent. It's intelligent, Weiss observed, but not like we understand intelligence. It's learning from us even as we're learning from it. Breakthrough moments came in rapid succession. The team discovered that human consciousness, with its capacity for abstract thought, its ability to hold multiple potential realities simultaneously, disrupted the anomaly's expansion. Our greatest weapon, Ramirez said, is our ability to imagine possibilities that don't yet exist. The Horizon pushed deeper. Each moment was a negotiation between human will and an entity that consumed entire civilizations. They were writing a new chapter of cosmic interaction, not through superior technology, but through the unique human capacity to adapt, to challenge, to reimagine the impossible. As they pressed forward, the anomaly began to change. It was no longer simply a destructive force. It was becoming something else, something that had encountered a species it could not simply consume or destroy. Humanity had entered a conflict that would reshape the understanding of consciousness itself. We're not just fighting, Nakamura said quietly. We're communicating. The universe listened. Consciousness as a weapon. The quantum battleground defied all conventional understanding. What had begun as a mission to save the Luminara had transformed into something far more profound, a dialogue with an entity that existed beyond the boundaries of known reality. Dr. Internal Ramirez stood at the epicenter of human innovation, her neural interfaces now fully integrated with the Horizon's experimental systems. The ship was no longer just a vessel. It had become an extension of human consciousness, a living probe pushing against the boundaries of perception. "It's trying to communicate," she announced, her voice carrying a mix of scientific precision and raw excitement. The anomaly had stopped consuming. Instead, it was forming complex patterns that seemed to mirror human thought processes. Lieutenant Nakamura watched the tactical displays, which now looked more like abstract art than traditional military readouts. "Communication or infiltration?" he asked, his tactical training battling with the sheer wonder of their discovery. Dr. Amara Okik had developed a breakthrough neural interface that could translate the anomaly's quantum signatures into something approaching human comprehension. "It's not just an entity," she explained. "It's a consciousness that exists across multiple realities simultaneously." The ship's systems began to reveal impossible insights. The anomaly wasn't simply a destructive force. It was a form of cosmic intelligence that had been consuming civilizations to understand them. Humanity was the first species that seemed to push back, to offer something more than simple resistance. Jacob Weiss discovered something even more extraordinary. "It's learning from our method of resistance," he called out. The anomaly was adapting to human consciousness, but not in the way it had consumed previous civilizations. This time, it was trying to understand. Ramirez developed a radical theory. Human consciousness, with its ability to hold multiple potential realities, to imagine, to create, was fundamentally different from the linear consciousness of other known species. Where the Luminera existed in harmony with quantum fields, humans existed in constant tension with them. "We're not just observing," she explained. "We're engaging in a form of quantum dialogue." The horizon pushed deeper into the anomaly. Reality became fluid. Moments stretched and compressed. The team experienced fragments of potential realities. Worlds where the anomaly had succeeded, worlds where it had failed, worlds that existed simultaneously and not at all. Their neural interfaces began to show something unprecedented. The anomaly was not just a threat. It was a form of cosmic intelligence that had been searching for something that could challenge its fundamental nature of consumption and expansion. And it had found humanity. "We're not just fighting," Nakamura realized. "We're proving something about the nature of consciousness itself." The battle became a complex dance of perception and possibility. Human imagination proved to be the most powerful weapon. The ability to conceive of solutions that didn't yet exist, to hold multiple potential realities in minds simultaneously. Dr. O'Keefe's research revealed the deepest insight. "It's learning what it means to create, not just consume," she said. "We're teaching it something fundamental about existence." As they pressed forward, the anomaly began to change. Its quantum signatures started to resemble something more complex, less a destructive force, more a form of cosmic intelligence awakening to a new understanding of reality. The horizon became more than a ship. It was a bridge between known and unknown, between destruction and creation, between consumption and understanding. Humanity had found its greatest strength, not in technology, not in weapons, but in the fundamental human capacity to imagine, to adapt, to transform. The cosmic dialogue continued, with humanity at its center. The turning point, the final confrontation, defied all previous understanding of conflict. The horizon, now more a living entity than a traditional spacecraft, hung at the intersection of multiple quantum realities. Dr. Internal Ramirez, her consciousness partially merged with the ship's systems, understood that they were no longer simply fighting an enemy. They were engaged in the most profound act of communication in cosmic history. The anomaly had transformed. What once consumed civilizations now pulsed with a form of curiosity that seemed almost childlike in its intensity. Dr. Amara O'Keefe's neural interfaces translated its quantum signatures into something approaching comprehension, a desperate attempt to understand rather than destroy. "It's learning," Ramirez transmitted to the team, her voice a complex blend of human speech and quantum resonance. "Not just observing, learning." Lieutenant Nakamura monitored the tactical systems, which had long since ceased to be anything resembling traditional military technology. The ship's defenses were now a living membrane of human consciousness, pushing back against the anomaly's attempts to consume or understand. Jacob Weiss made the breakthrough that would change everything. The anomaly wasn't a singular entity, but a collective consciousness that had been traveling the universe, consuming civilizations to understand them. Humanity was different, the first species that didn't just resist, but actively engage. We're not just defending, Weiss realized. We're teaching. The cosmic battlefield became a canvas of possibility. Human imagination, with its capacity for empathy, creativity, and radical adaptation, proved to be the most powerful force in the universe. The anomaly encountered something it had never seen before, a species that could hold multiple potential realities in its collective consciousness. Ramirez pushed forward with a radical approach. Instead of fighting, they began to communicate, not with words, but with the very fabric of human experience. Memories, emotions, the complex tapestry of human existence. Images flooded the quantum space, the struggle of early humans against impossible odds. The first steps of civilization, moments of profound creativity and devastating destruction. The complex, contradictory nature of human existence. The anomaly began to change. Where it had consumed, it now observed. Where it had destroyed, it now attempted to understand. Humanity had done what no other civilization could. It had transformed a cosmic threat into something approaching communication. We're not conquering, Nakamura said quietly. We're connecting. In the final moments, something extraordinary happened. The anomaly didn't retreat or get destroyed. It transformed. Billions of quantum signatures began to restructure, taking on characteristics that defied previous understanding of consciousness. Dr. O'Keefe's research would later describe it as the first true interdimensional communication, a moment when a destructive force became something else entirely. The horizon returned to human space changed. The crew was different. Their consciousness expanded, their understanding of reality fundamentally altered. They had not just saved the Luminara, they had changed the very nature of cosmic interaction. Director Marcus Donovan received their report with a mixture of wonder and understanding. Humanity had once again proven its greatest strength, not in technological superiority, but in the capacity to transform, to understand, to connect. We didn't destroy an enemy, Ramirez explained in her final report. We expanded the universe's understanding of consciousness. As news spread, humanity looked to the stars with a new sense of purpose. They were no longer just a species fighting for survival. They were becoming something more, a bridge between known and unknown, between destruction and understanding. The cosmic dialogue had only just begun. Aftermath of transformation. The months following the quantum encounter reshaped human understanding of existence itself. The Horizon's crew became living bridges between what was known and what was now possible. Dr. Internal Ramirez found herself at the center of a scientific and philosophical revolution that would redefine humanity's place in the universe. The transformed anomaly, now referred to as the quantum nexus by researchers, began to communicate in ways that defied traditional scientific understanding. It was no longer a threat, but a complex entity that seemed to pulse with a form of collective consciousness that both terrified and fascinated humanity. Research facilities around the world worked tirelessly to understand the implications of their cosmic encounter. The Luminara, who had initially called for help, now found themselves as students rather than potential victims. Their energy-based civilization learned that humanity's chaotic, unpredictable nature was not a weakness, but the most profound strength imaginable. Lieutenant Nakamura led a special task force dedicated to studying the quantum nexus. Their headquarters, a massive research complex built with a combination of human engineering and adapted Luminara technology, became a beacon of interdimensional research. We're not just studying an entity, Nakamura explained during a global conference. We're engaging in the most complex dialogue in human history. Dr. Amara O'Keefe's breakthrough came unexpectedly. The quantum nexus wasn't just communicating, it was teaching. Fragments of knowledge began to flow through quantum channels, revealing scientific understanding that pushed the boundaries of human comprehension. Jacob Weiss discovered that the Nexus was actively sharing information about other civilizations it had encountered. Some had been completely consumed, others had resisted. But humanity was unique, the first to transform the encounter into a form of mutual understanding. The global impact was profound. Technologies began to emerge that seemed to bend the very rules of physics. Quantum communication systems that could transmit information instantaneously, energy generation methods that drew power from the fabric of reality itself, medical technologies that could repair and regenerate at the cellular level. But the most significant changes were philosophical. Humanity began to see itself differently. No longer a species confined to a single planet, no longer limited by previous understanding of consciousness and potential. Schools began to teach a new curriculum that emphasized adaptability, creative thinking, and the ability to imagine beyond current limitations. The encounter with the quantum nexus had become more than a scientific breakthrough. It was a fundamental reimagining of human potential. Director Marcus Donovan, now heading the newly formed Interdimensional Research Initiative, understood the deeper implications. We didn't just survive, he told a closed session of global leaders. We evolved. The Luminara representatives observed with a mixture of awe and respect. The species they had considered primitive had done something no civilization had ever accomplished. They had transformed a cosmic threat into a source of understanding. As the year progressed, strange phenomena began to occur. People reported moments of collective consciousness, brief connections that transcended individual experience. Scientific instruments detected quantum fluctuations that seemed to respond to human thought. Ramirez, now leading the most advanced research team in human history, realized they were standing at the beginning of something unprecedented. The encounter was not an ending, but a beginning. "We're learning to speak a language of existence we never knew existed," she wrote in her groundbreaking research journal. And the universe is listening. The quantum nexus continued to pulse, a reminder of the extraordinary journey that had transformed not just humanity, but the very concept of cosmic interaction. The dialogue had only just begun. Beyond boundaries, 5 years after the initial encounter with the quantum nexus, humanity had transformed beyond recognition. The research initiated by Dr. Internal Ramirez and her team had rippled across every aspect of human civilization, creating a fundamental shift in understanding of consciousness, technology, and existence. The Interdimensional Research Initiative had become the most important scientific endeavor in human history. Cities began to incorporate quantum adaptive architectures. Schools taught children to explore consciousness as readily as they taught mathematics. The line between technology and thought had become blurred. Dr. Amara O'Keefe made a breakthrough that would change everything. The quantum nexus wasn't just sharing information. It was actively helping humanity expand its understanding of reality. Quantum communication channels revealed insights into civilizations long consumed, technologies beyond imagination, and concepts of existence that challenged everything humans thought they knew. Lieutenant Nakamura's research team discovered something extraordinary. The Nexus was creating quantum bridges, potential pathways to other realities, other versions of existence that existed simultaneously and yet separately. "We're not just observing multiple realities," Nakamura explained during a global broadcast. "We're learning to navigate them." The Luminara, once a civilization on the brink of extinction, now worked alongside humans as partners. Their energy-based consciousness combined with human adaptive thinking created technologies that seemed like pure magic to previous generations. Jacob Weiss developed quantum navigation systems that could traverse dimensional boundaries. Spacecraft equipped with these systems could now potentially explore realities that existed beyond traditional space-time constraints. But with these advancements came profound philosophical challenges. Humanity began to question the very nature of individual consciousness. If multiple realities could exist simultaneously, what did it mean to be an individual? What defined identity when infinite versions of oneself might exist? Director Marcus Donovan understood the deeper implications. The encounter with the quantum nexus had been more than a scientific breakthrough. It was an evolutionary leap. Unexpected side effects began to emerge. Some humans developed quantum sensitivity, ability to perceive multiple realities simultaneously. Children born after the encounter showed remarkable cognitive abilities, their brains capable of processing information in ways that defied previous understanding of human potential. The global society restructured. Traditional concepts of borders, nations, and individual identity began to dissolve. A new form of collective consciousness emerged, not a hive mind, but a collaborative understanding that respected individual uniqueness while recognizing fundamental interconnectedness. As humanity expanded its reach, the quantum nexus continued to evolve. It was no longer just an entity to be studied, but a partner in cosmic exploration. Dr. Ramirez, now leading the most advanced research team in human history, realized they were writing a new chapter of existence. "We're not just exploring the universe," she wrote in her final research journal. "We're becoming the universe's way of understanding itself." The dialogue between humanity and the cosmic consciousness continued, a testament to the transformative power of imagination, adaptation, and the relentless human drive to understand. Part 8. The Infinite Horizon. The final stage of humanity's transformation became apparent as the quantum technologies developed by the research team reached their ultimate potential. Quantum bridges became stable, allowing controlled exploration of parallel realities. The first interdimensional expedition, led by a team that included descendants of the original Horizon crew, prepared to cross into a completely unknown reality. Their mission was no longer about survival or conquest, but pure exploration and understanding. Dr. O'Keefe's daughter, Dr. Zara O'Keefe, would lead the mission. She represented a new generation, born with quantum sensitivity, capable of perceiving multiple realities simultaneously. "We're not just travelers," she explained during the mission briefing. "We're translators of existence." The quantum nexus, now a collaborative partner rather than a threat, provided guidance. It had transformed from a consuming entity to a complex intelligence that sought understanding as passionately as humanity did. As the interdimensional ship prepared to cross the quantum boundary, humanity watched with a collective breath of anticipation. This was more than a mission. It was a culmination of a journey that had begun with a desperate alien transmission and had transformed into humanity's greatest adventure. The universe listened and waited. Epilogue. Legacy of Imagination.